The United States has long been a country shaped by immigration. People come from all over the world for many reasons. They seek new opportunities, safety, and a different way of life. This movement of people changes the country. It affects communities, economies, and the very fabric of society. Understanding these changes is very important for everyone. It helps leaders make good decisions. Data helps us see the full picture of immigration. Numbers tell a story about where people are going and what happens when they get there. When we look at unauthorized immigration, we see that it is not the same everywhere. Some states have many more unauthorized immigrants than others. This creates unique challenges and opportunities in those places. This report will look closely at 10 states with the highest numbers of unauthorized immigrants. We will use recent data to provide a clear and detailed overview. We will explore the numbers, impacts on local services, and why these states attract so many people. First, a numerical overview of where unauthorized immigrants live. Let's begin with the numbers. To understand the landscape of unauthorized immigration, it is essential to start with the numbers. Certain states have become primary destinations for a variety of reasons. According to the most recent comprehensive data available from 2021, these 10 states host the largest populations of unauthorized immigrants: California, Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Georgia, North Carolina, Washington, Maryland. These states collectively account for a significant majority of the nation's total unauthorized immigrant population. The concentration in these states is remarkable. Next, we'll examine each state in detail, starting with California. California alone is home to an estimated 1.9 million unauthorized immigrants. California has long been the state with the largest number of unauthorized immigrants. With an estimated 1.9 million people, it holds a significant place in any discussion of immigration. This population constitutes nearly 5% of the state's residents. The sheer scale of this number means that its effects are felt across many sectors of society. For decades, California has been a primary destination for immigrants, particularly from Mexico and Central America. Large established communities create networks that help new arrivals find housing and work. The impact on California's public services is substantial. Schools serve many English language learners and require specialized resources. Hospitals and clinics often provide care to a high volume of uninsured patients, creating uncompensated care costs. Many unauthorized immigrants work in agriculture, construction, hospitality, and domestic services. In agriculture, immigrant labor is essential for harvesting crops that feed the nation. Construction and hospitality also rely heavily on immigrant workers. California has adopted policies intended to integrate immigrants into civic life. The state provides access to driver's licenses for unauthorized immigrants. It has also expanded access to some state-funded health benefits for certain groups. These sanctuary policies limit cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. California's approach often differs from federal priorities, reflecting a state-level path of integration. Texas has the second largest unauthorized immigrant population in the country, with an estimated 1.6 million people. As a share of its population, Texas ranks highest at about 5.3%. Its long border with Mexico makes it a primary entry point and destination. Geography, plus economic opportunity, draws many in search of jobs and a better life. The state's dynamic economy acts as a powerful magnet. School districts, particularly along the border, have seen large increases in enrollment. Many new students require bilingual education and support services. This places strains on school budgets and resources. Hospitals provide substantial uncompensated care to uninsured patients. This creates financial pressures across the healthcare system. Community clinics play a critical role in serving those populations. Immigrant labor supports construction, restaurants, hotels, agriculture, and ranching. Agriculture and ranching are major employers of unauthorized immigrants. This labor helps businesses thrive but raises debates about wages and working conditions. Texas has responded with heavy investments in border security and enforcement. The state has deployed resources, including the National Guard, reflecting an enforcement-focused approach. Florida is home to the third largest unauthorized immigrant population, with an estimated 900,000 people, about 4% of the state's population. Florida's immigrant population is remarkably diverse compared with some other large states. Many come from Caribbean nations, Cuba and Haiti. Others originate from Venezuela, Colombia, and across Latin America. This diversity shapes a unique cultural and social environment, especially in South Florida. Miami serves as a major gateway for the Americas. School districts like Miami-Dade and Broward have extensive ESL programs. The healthcare system serves many uninsured patients with complex needs. Florida's economy relies heavily on immigrant labor in tourism and agriculture. Theme parks, hotels, and restaurants depend on this workforce. Agriculture, citrus, vegetables, and sugar depends on immigrant farm workers. Florida's response has shifted over time and recently trended towards stronger enforcement. New laws increase verification requirements for businesses. These policies reflect a broader national debate. Florida's immigrant populations power key industries and shape communities across the state. Next, New York and its long history as an immigrant gateway. New York is home to an estimated 600,000 unauthorized immigrants, ranking 4th in the nation. This represents about 3% of the state's residents. For centuries, New York City has been a primary gateway for immigrants. Today, immigrant communities thrive in Queens, Brooklyn, and in suburban areas across the state. Origins are diverse: China, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and many other countries. Public services are most stressed in New York City, which provides universal access to care for residents. The city's public school system educates children who speak hundreds of languages and runs extensive ESL programs. NYC Health Plus Hospitals provides care regardless of immigration status, a core identity of the city. Immigrant labor is vital across restaurants, delivery, retail, cleaning, construction, and caregiving. The state allows unauthorized immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. New York City maintains sanctuary policies limiting local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement. The Municipal ID program helps residents access services and banking. Many work in low-wage jobs with limited protections, increasing vulnerability to exploitation. At the same time, immigrants strengthen neighborhood economies and cultural life. Now, 2 densely populated states with large immigrant communities: New Jersey and Illinois. New Jersey is the most densely populated state and has about 425,000 unauthorized immigrants. That's roughly 4.6% of its residents, one of the highest shares in the U.S. Proximity to New York City, and a diverse economy sustain established immigrant enclaves. Large communities originate from India, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and Ecuador cluster in northern and central counties. Illinois has about 400,000 unauthorized immigrants, around 3.2% of residents. Most live in the Chicago metropolitan area. Chicago has been an immigrant hub for over a century. Today, one of the largest communities is Mexican. Also significant are communities from Poland, India, and other Asian and Eastern European countries. Concentrated populations strain schools, clinics, and nonprofits that fill service gaps. Both states allow unauthorized immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. They also limit local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement to build trust. These policies point toward inclusion and practical approaches to public safety and services. Georgia and North Carolina represent a newer trend in immigration patterns. Georgia is home to about 310,000 unauthorized immigrants, roughly 3.1%. North Carolina has around 290,000, approximately 2.7% of residents. Rapid economic growth, construction, agriculture, and services has created demand for labor. Day labor pickup sites and hiring networks draw many from Mexico and Central America. These migration flows are shifting population patterns away from traditional gateway states. Schools quickly created ESL programs and hired bilingual staff to adapt. Hospitals and clinics see more uninsured patients and must plan funding accordingly. Local governments discuss sustainable ways to fund and deliver healthcare. Immigrant labor has become essential to agriculture, poultry processing, construction, and hospitality. Business groups rely on this workforce and sometimes push back against strict enforcement measures. This creates political tension between economic needs and enforcement policy. Both states have passed stricter enforcement laws while also facing pushback from advocates. Many measures require businesses to verify work authorization. The result is a complex mix of regulation, reliance on labor, and local adaptation. Washington and Maryland round out the top 10, each with unique draws. Washington has about 260,000 unauthorized immigrants, roughly 3.3% of residents. The Seattle area's tech economy and agriculture in eastern Washington create diverse opportunities. Many work in agriculture in eastern Washington, often coming from Mexico. Others, including immigrants from Asian countries, join the urban job market. This mix creates varied economic profiles across the state. Maryland has approximately 250,000 unauthorized immigrants, about 4% of its residents. Proximity to Washington, D.C. attracts workers for construction, hospitality, and service jobs. These sectors employ many immigrants who form multicultural suburban corridors. Communities include people from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Africa, and Asia. School districts like Montgomery County and King County invest in ESL and outreach. Community clinics and public health initiatives are central to serving uninsured residents. Both states allow unauthorized immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. Maryland's DREAM Act enables certain students to pay in-state tuition at public colleges. Policies in these states emphasize integration and recognize immigrants' economic contributions. The data clearly shows unauthorized immigration is concentrated in a handful of key states. These states are diverse in geography, economy, and politics. Some are border states, others are long-standing urban gateways, and some are New South destinations. A common thread is the deep integration of unauthorized immigrants into key sectors of the economy. Agriculture, construction, hospitality, and services depend on this labor. State responses vary dramatically. Some favor integration, others focus on enforcement. This patchwork creates a complex legal landscape for immigrants and employers. The absence of a comprehensive federal consensus intensifies state-level debates. Future patterns will be shaped by economic opportunities, established networks, and federal policy. Economic downturns or global events could alter migration flows. Communities will continue to debate fiscal, social, and ethical implications. There are lessons about the challenges of enforcement and the benefits of integration. The enduring quest is to define America's identity as a nation of immigrants. For details and sources used in this report, consult the data links in the video description. This production used publicly available estimates from 2021 demographic studies and state-level analyses. See the description for full source citations and methodology.